What's up, folks? Derek here, and today I'm taking my spare N64 and making it region free. That's right, people. This video is going to show you the very simple steps on how you can make your N64 region free so you can play all of your favorite Japanese titles. So let's jump right in. Alright, so right out of the bat, I didn't have any accessories for my N64, so I was lucky enough to be able to find a power supply that also included one of the AV cables. I didn't have any controllers either, so I took a chance on these third-party ones. Had to go with the Atomic Purple, and as you know, Atomic Green is a pretty popular color from back when we were kids as well. So I gave it a shot. The colors are close, but not quite what we're looking for. So let's get into the tools we're going to need. You're going to need a set of Gamebit drivers. I bought these on Amazon for under 10 bucks. And this is the cartridge slot for the N64 that is region free. This was also under $10 on Amazon. And let's take a look at this beaut right here. It's a spare N64 that I've had for quite a few years now, and it's in pretty good shape. So we're going to pop the RAM slot cover off, and you are going to need to remove the expansion pack or your other RAM cartridge in it. The expansion is the red top, or you'll have a standard Japanese titled RAM cartridge as well. Let's go ahead and put the door back on the top so we don't lose track of it, and flip it over to give us an idea of what we're working with. So you'll see here there's a series of 3 screws all along the back of the console and another 3 all along the front. So we're going to need to hop in with the Gamebit driver and just start unscrewing. You are going to notice that they may be a little tight, a little snug, because if it's never been opened before, those have been sitting for decades. So you might get a little bit of resistance. As you can see here, a couple of the screws kind of got stuck a little bit, but don't worry, just be gentle with it. Make sure that you aren't kind of overpowering anything, because that's how you can damage your console. You don't want to put a crack in the shell or anything like that. Another thing to consider is these feet are removable as well. So as you see, when I flipped it over, that first one fell off. I learned my lesson, and I pulled the foot off so that it wouldn't fall on the floor and potentially lose the screw. So we're going to lift the lid here. Here's the motherboard, heatsink, shield, everything like that. We're going to place that to the side because our main focus is going to be the top of the shell. As you can see here, you are going to need a standard Phillips head screwdriver as well. And we're going to go ahead and start removing the stock cartridge slot, which is what locks it to the North American region. I'll do another video in the future to kind of explain the regions and what exactly that is, but we're going to go ahead and remove that. Here's a closer look. As you can see, there's those tabs there. That's kind of part of the region locking, and that's why this is so simple. This is the region free. You'll notice that didn't have any of those small brackets in there. We're going to line it up and be very careful about how you're putting these screws back in, because again, over tightening could damage. So you want to make everything finger tight, something stable that you aren't going to break or have trouble removing later as well. Maybe you want to put the region back on, but it is probably worth saying that these region-free cartridge slots, they work with US games as well. So now that we have that all together, we're going to get the bottom of the shell with the motherboard back in place. You're going to look here on the left. That's the power button. You want to make sure that that's shifted to the off position. And when you put the top of the shell back on, that button needs to line up with that switch. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time getting it back together. Go along the seams, and as you can see here, we're going to flip it over and just start putting it back together. This is another little thing, is you drop the screw into the foot and then you place the foot on there. That made it a lot easier for me to be able to set the screw properly. Again, I need to emphasize this. You really only want to go finger tight on all of these screws when you're putting it back together. It's pretty much simple as that. I mean, as you can see here, this is, obviously sped up, but This is a mod that doesn't require any cutting, any soldering, anything like that, and you'll be able to enjoy games that you picked up abroad. I went to Japan earlier this year, picked up a lot of my favorite titles in Japanese, so I was really excited to be able to try to play those. I'll be making some videos on those in the future as well. Let's take a look. Everything's lined up really well. We're going to go ahead and open that RAM slot back up, drop the expansion pack back in it. Again, being very delicate with how those pins are lining up, because that is a damage that you do not want to mess with. So as you can see, I have my Japanese title of GoldenEye. We're going to slide it into the cartridge slot, and it fits great. So let's go ahead and jump over and see how it works. We have this third-party power adapter and AV cable. Link will be in the description for these. I'm very happy with them. They fit a little snug, so you want to be careful again about doing that, because when working with older technology, sometimes pieces are brittle, so you got to remember that. This is the third-party controller here, and to be completely honest with you, these controllers suck. So I'm going to make another video in the future about that and maybe how I can salvage that purchase. But we all know the intro and how it goes for GoldenEye. I sped this up and pitched it a little bit to avoid copyright, because I would still like to have everyone be able to enjoy this. So we're going to give it a shot and see if we get striked or not. If we do, I'm sorry, you're going to be listening to silence. But we wanted to really just wait around so that you could see the Japanese titling for proof that it is in fact the Japanese cartridge. Well, there you have it, folks. As you can see, it's a very simple process on making your N64 a region-free console so that you can play all of your favorite titles from around the world. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.